guys, Logan here, and today I'm going to be giving you guys another 2019 movie review. This time, I'm going to be reviewing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, the 9th film directed and written by Quentin Tarantino, and stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, as well as Margot Robbie and others. Leonardo DiCaprio plays a TV star named Rick Dalton, who is struggling as an actor to specialize in westerns, while Brad Pitt plays his stuntman slash best friend named Cliff Booth, who tries to survive in a constantly changing movie industry. This is the very first Quentin Tarantino film I have ever watched. I have not watched any of the 8 films that he directed prior to this. So I was really excited to do this review, actually, because I finally get a chance to watch a film directed by someone who I was never familiar with his filmography. And having to watch this film for the very first time, and not to mention this, watching a Quentin Tarantino film for the very first time, I must say that I enjoy Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This is a really good movie. I like it. There are certain issues for sure, and we will get into them shortly, but I thoroughly enjoyed myself watching this film, and a lot of that has to do with the 2 terrific performances delivered by Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, especially Brad Pitt. He is the crowning jewel of this movie, arguably by far. I mean, he sells every scene that he's in. Mostly the ending, which I won't get into spoilers, even though this film is already out for over a year. I'm still not going to spoil how this movie ended. I'll just let you watch the movie for yourself. But the way this movie ended, especially with him being in it, it was satisfying. Of course, everything else prior to that was really awesome. Just the things he said and does was both hilarious and awesome and badass at the same time. The direction and the writing that Quentin Tarantino made within this film is on point. I was on board with throughout most of this film's runtime, or at least the storyline that took place between 2 actors, within their final years of their careers as actors and stuntmen. An actor and a stuntman, realizing that they're not going to last in their careers in filmmaking and acting and stuff like that, or stunt work and stuff like that. So this film does a very good job, and Quentin Tarantino more so did a good job with making you feel very interested and make you feel like you're with those characters throughout this film's entirety, I should have said. Quentin Tarantino also makes this film feel like a 1960s film. This movie technically breaks some of the rules that the 2019 rules of filmmaking made, where like every scene in a movie nowadays have to make a scene more meaningful. Like every single scene that is in a film needs to have a meaning behind it to be a part of the movie. Here, this Quentin Tarantino makes this movie feel more laid back and make it more chill type of movie, and just let it slide or stuff like that. That's pretty much the way I can describe Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. This movie is like when you have someone who comes to your house one day after you invite them to come to their house, and then they just sit on a couch with a water or even a beer, and just sit there and just chill, not doing very much, and just was like, "Hey, how you doing?" "Well, me, I'm doing fine, just chilling like a villain." The style, the cinematography, the production design, and the costume designs as well were on point. The acting is also not too bad at all. There was even one scene where it was in the trailer, or at least the teaser trailer, but it was still a very awesome acting type of scene, if you get what I'm saying, especially from Leonardo DiCaprio. You'll see what type of acting he delivered in just one scene about midway through this movie's runtime, I would say. Now, with all the positives that I have mentioned, let's get to my negatives, and they're very minor, so it's not like I don't think that this movie is great, which I do think it is. It's just that there are certain minor issues that I have with it, mainly the subplot with Sharon Tate, played by Margot Robbie. It didn't serve much purpose to be in this film, at least for all the things that happened throughout this film's runtime. You know, everything that was happening. The subplot with her, you know, where most times she would like walk around, and then for a few portions of the scene she attends to a movie or a movie theater, and goes to a movie that she claims that she was in one of the movies that they were playing, and so she goes in the theater. But the movie didn't really didn't do very much to verify the purpose for, you know, her character being in this film. Another minor issue I have with this film is there were certain scenes, most in the second act of this movie, that kind of felt dragged on just for a little bit. Not much, but just a little bit. Certain scenes that didn't need to be like filmed for that long, and stuff like that didn't need to drag on, but they did serve a purpose for being in this movie because of what happened within the climax. Those were the scenes that build up the tension, which actually builds up later on in this film, and you'll see as to what happened once you check this movie out, like I said earlier. But even still, those scenes could have been cut shorter, at the very least, probably about 2 or 3 minutes shorter. But that's just about it. Outside of that, I have a really good time watching this movie. I do think that if you are part of an older generation that has lived through the 60s of Hollywood, Los Angeles, and you know certain events and parts of what happened during the 60s in Hollywood, then you're going to enjoy this movie. I'm going to give Once Upon a Time a gold medal of honor. So anyway, guys, that is my review for Quentin Tarantino's 9th film in his filmography, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. My next 2019 movie review will be for Hobbs and Shaw, the first Fast and Furious spin-off movie starring The Rock and Jason Statham as Hobbs and Shaw. So yeah, my review will be up at least tomorrow, let's just say. So yeah. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give it that like button to click, and if you'd like to see future videos from me, make sure to press up there to subscribe, and don't forget to turn on that bell icon so that you'll get notified about my latest videos. Have a great day, and as always, fight the good fight.